It's 2023. It's been for more than a month now. Sure, fall came and went. My country lost at the only thing it's good at and put everyone in such severe depression that no one worked. Thanks for ruining the economy, national soccer team. Oh, jokes aside, I'm over that. I really am. Gosh. Also, by the time this is out, we should be dead in winter. And future me is, in fact, right now losing his absolute mind on the near anime. But fall last year sure was one giant of a season. Please, guys, humor me this once. I've always wanted to do these type of, seasonal compilation videos. Hoping this becomes a staple for me in the channel. And this time, specifically, also using you guys as therapy. Let's get this one out of the way before it reminds me too much of the pain. Soccer Battle Royale. Because why the hell not? First of all, I'm Brazilian. You guys probably know that already. I can't shut up about it in every single video I make. But the reason I bring it up again is because this is a soccer anime. And by racial trait, I have a moral obligation to watch this, even if I didn't like the sport. And believe you me, I actually wanted to do a full video about this anime until we lost those damn penalty kicks. In that light, isn't it freaking genius to release this anime in the season that the World Cup was going to happen? That's some 5D marketing shit right there. But yeah, the anime is exactly what you'd think from this type of setting. The elimination drawback though isn't, well, death. I guess that would be too much. It's just a death of your dreams, really. Then you have this guy who is known as the guy who's voiced by Hiroshi Kamiya. Gonna start his little death game speech. Alright, listen up. You see these guys? They're all famous. All of them won World Cups. Check it out there. All egotistical pricks. That's the secret. He mentions Pele, then Neymar. I mean, you didn't have to. I had already committed to watching this. But I do appreciate you mentioning our golden boy. Man, wouldn't it have been cool if, say, I don't know, if Neymar could have had the opportunity to take like a decisive penalty shot on that one game? Then he's like, the Japanese team sucks because they all believe in that shonen friendship and team play BS. And now to fix that, I have to step in and create the ultimate striker. Or by extension, the ultimate asshole. Also, the first episode spends like 10 minutes hyping this dude up to be like the ultimate prodigy. And then like 17 narrative fake outs later, he gets eliminated in like the first episode. You never hear from him again. It's stuff like that that keeps my viewership. Like, I love the backstabbing that happens in this kind of scenario. To me, it's the most fun to be had in the Royales. Also, I guess a common complaint in these types of sport animes is, the little powers and techniques they have. And how usually they're so over the top and purely fictional and whatever. But to me, those are essential for a sports anime. I liked what I saw. I thought there was some good diversity. The power creep that happened once they got out of the first round wasn't too bad to me either. And frankly, if I wanted to watch something that was like 100% down to earth and non-fictional, and goddamn, I'd just watch an actual IRL sports league. Give anime a break, man. To summarize talking about up to where we got to see this season, I liked how some player bonds got severed in the end of the second phase. So you get to see how people you thought would never cooperate get to team up. A negative for me was that, well, you kind of know the main guy isn't going to get eliminated. So as a spectator, you'd never really get that anxious for the guy. No matter how deep in shit his team is, they're not going to lose. But being reasonable, I don't really think there's a way around that in a battle royale setting. Unless, I guess, you never reveal who your actual main boy is. I'd imagine that'd be insane to write well, though. Worth it. I mean, the guy certainly did his research, as far as an amateur soccer viewer like me can point out. You see, people in Blue Lock don't just rush in an all-out attack in freaking additional time after getting a really suffered 1-0, only to get counterattacked with zero defense and then lose the fucking game. There is no way we weren't gonna talk about this, even though every other Anituber and their doggos already have. Let's just gloss over the fact that the staff of MAPPA probably doesn't eat or sleep. Hell, they probably haven't even seen their families or loved ones in years. Big catch a break this season? No? Ooh, Vinland Saga. Can't wait. Yeah, keep up the good work, boys. Don't forget about Jujutsu 2 and Jigoku. Gambate! Bro, they have such creative ideas, I can't get over the opening's movie references. Also, I noticed they have these, like, quick fade-out transitions like they used in Jujutsu. It's kind of their thing. Let's see. What hasn't been said? I mean, me too, man. I've waited a long time for this. We get so much cool new shit when adaptations are done with this level of polish. It's one thing to read Chainsaw Man, and maybe my mind kind of skips this thought process, but seeing Denji really rip demons apart with a chainsaw felt so real. Damn, they nailed that. I really don't understand what people didn't like about it. There's so many small details that come to life. Like a quick example, I never knew how Denji goes back to dingy form until I watched the first episode and saw the melt-like effect. If that wasn't the original manga, I certainly don't remember it, but that just speaks volumes to me of how an adaptation can enhance the experience. Like, this small detail is ingrained in my head now. I think it's the little freedoms that the animators take like this that really make the difference. And trust me, I've seen my share of adaptations that butcher the source material. I have been following this medium for 20 years plus. And yes, it is the worst experience when it does happen, especially with something you love. But building a petition to F over MAPPA of all studios for this adaptation? What is wrong with people? Like, I get still preferring the manga, that's totally fine. I agree there are some aspects that it just does better for its format. But this? Fuck you, dude. Usually bad adaptations are born when you mess up the canon for one reason or another. Most of the time. MAPPA did no such thing. It's still the Chainsaw Man we read and loved, masterfully presented in my opinion. And granted, I might be forgetting things, but it doesn't feel to me like any dialogue was missing. I say that because the things I appreciate the most about an adaptation that, well, isn't the obvious fact that you're seeing things actually animated wonderfully, is when you take your time to put in things that only add to the experience. You see, why do we have this scene of Aki just having a normal morning for like minutes, and then you keep watching until, oh, it's because it serves as a hard contrast to how things become completely chaotic once power arrives, like in the next scene. Smart boy. The good adaptation is one where you take the opportunity to add these things that only deepen the experience while keeping the original vision. And a bad one is when you change the direction for no apparent reason, or you remove important, meaningful scenes and then add in bullshit in their place. And maybe I'm just ranting now, but I say it to illustrate how I can't see how Chainsaw Man fails to accomplish itself as anything but a stellar adaptation. Another cool thing about adaptations is how sometimes, because of episode cliffhangers, you kind of show the same thing twice. However, they chose to portray the same scene from two different angles in that occasion, which just adds to the whole thing. And as I always say, man, it's the simple things too. I've waited for what, over a year just to see this exact hand movement here. Beautifully animated. They gave it the perfect amount of detail, man. God, I love Makima. Yeah, I'm one of those. Also, can we talk about the fact that we have Mads Mikkelsen as Kishibe? They even chose like the perfect VA for him too. Now he's in a video game and in an anime. Absolute legend. Listen, I think we just need to put more IRL actors in anime. No need to actually ask them to be in it. I'm pretty sure that's still fair use, right? But hey, now I'm really excited for Halloween. It's been 8 years since the last Bleach episode aired. And listen guys, honestly, I was only following the Bleach manga back in the day. And spoilers I guess, back when the Aizen saga ended, with Ichigo losing all his powers, I was like, okay, we are done. I refuse to acknowledge anything else that comes out of this. This is the end. I don't even know what to think about right now. And it's been like that ever since. People hated it so much I didn't really understand why they were still reading it. I honestly can't recall like one person in my social circles that was okay with the direction Bleach was taking. It sounded so bad in my head by the way it was presented to me in word of mouth that it really killed any chances of me going back to the manga at the time. And personally now, I kinda wish I had. If anything, just to see things that were mysteries to the readers ever since the beginning of the manga. You'll get what I'm saying in a bit. What got me to change my mind now was that they hit me in the wick spot. The nostalgia. Hey Kate, so remember when you were 17, you used to watch Bleach every freaking day and then play Ragnarok online for hours on end? Oh, alright you little scabs, you got me. It's been forever, and plus this was a big part of my, I guess, coming of age otaku culture. Let's see how it ends. Now, I'm not going to say this seemed like a desperate attempt to make Ichigo's mom somehow relevant to the main plot, but you won't convince me that Kubo-sensei didn't have to pull this Quincy backstory out of his ass in like a week. I know all kinds of this sort of shit happens in like weekly shonen publishing, and from all we know, it might not even have been his choice, but putting all that in the equation, I think it was rather decent. But come on guys, did Ichigo actually have to be half Quincy on top of everything else? But don't get me wrong, that said, I had a lot of fun watching it, and I really don't think it was just because of the nostalgia. Well, mild spoilers ahead. What Bleach fan doesn't want to see Yamamoto's Bankai, especially in 2022's Pierrot style of animation? Seeing Unohana's Bankai was so awesome to me, it made me feel like I was 17 again. Seeing who she actually was, shining some light on Kenpachi's character, I'm all in, dude. Experiencing Ichigo's parents' love story filled a hole in my heart I never even knew was there. Even though I do think her Quincy backstory wasn't really necessary, and feeling like Old Man Zangetsu never really needed that last plot twist, I do think that choosing Quincy's as the main villains for the last arc was a great call. I fail to see the necessity of like linking them with Ichigo in that way, but that's just my opinion for now. I could be proven wrong later. What is also my opinion is that it was definitely worth my time. It's like a closing chapter in my teenagehood, which isn't something I can say was decently done by a few other animes from that time. TLDR, if you're a Bleach fan, go watch it. On the topic of youth, man, Mob never ceases to deliver. I really got a little bit of everything from season 3. For starters, I got the best WhatsApp sticker ever from Chad Mob. It's damn well perfect. The scenario jumps from comedy to drama to all-out shonen battles so well and so naturally. It's one of the few shows that I'd venture to say that every anime fan is gonna get a kick out of it one way or another in one part or another. And yeah, you could say the same about all 3 seasons really. You see, one big reason why I watch anime in general is because so many titles give this focus to how the character portrays the world around them in their heads. It takes you to their deepest feelings, and based by how they perceive what's happening, it takes you through their whole thought process behind an action they're going to take, either before or after, as kind of like a plot twist. Focusing on different characters' outlooks on the same scenario helped me so much with, well, my life. When faced with conflict, you know, trying to understand why different people react in different ways with the same situation. One is a master in writing this type of story, and in my opinion, season 3 did it the best. Mob always keeps me cheering on him. It's like I'm seeing the world through a whole different lens. And even though I never felt like I could relate much to what Mob was going through, one proved me wrong with the Chad scene. I'm not ashamed to admit it, I was a stupid teenager once too. I've been in that exact same mindset. That's what I'm trying to mean when I say Mob really is for everyone. Even the character who I felt like I had the least in common with had an experience that hit so close to home to me that it hurt my marbles. We have the climax of the relationship between Mob and Ikubo, which made me cry. That's always a plus. And an ending that was so simple that it felt surreal how satisfying it was despite that fact. Not to mention Bones really nails it with the art design and overall quality of the animation. If I had to criticize it, it's that, you know, there are certain events during the season that feel kind of like a waste of time. Until the guy gets abducted by aliens, lives out a whole life with them, goes through all sorts of... What the fuck? Is he married to the alien queen? What does this mean? We need more episodes like this in anime. Like, when I finished watching that, I was like, I thought I was in a trance for like an hour. I didn't realize it. Maybe I was fucking abducted myself. Like, what the fuck just happened? Absolutely genius. Gundam deserves a special moment. I was gonna do a flash review here like I did with all the others, but honestly, while writing it, I felt so strongly that it needs to be its own video that, well, there you go, it's gonna be its own video. I'll slave on it immediately as I get this out, I promise. But for now, what I want to tell you is don't be put off by the fact it's a high school Gundam. And if you've never watched Gundam, it definitely is a better one to start with. That because, well, it is similar to a lot of other stuff out there. For more traditional fans, I guess, it does sound weird with the premise. At least when compared to Gundam stuff I've seen before, you know, like the non-UC titles. Watch it, it's worth it. That last episode is absolutely insane. Ties everything together, you won't miss a second of it when you start it. To me, it was the most pleasant of surprises after, you know, seeing the whole season. So while I'm working on the actual video, let's take some time right now to appreciate what is definitely the best scene in all of the fall 2022 anime season.
田舎者はおとなしく引っ込んでなって。
Oh my gosh, dude, it's like an instant knockout. She goes straight to Concrete Central. Look at that, she looks like a dumb John. You guys know what a dumb John is? It's these things children in Brazil beat up and they wriggle around and shit. I can't get enough of this, man. Choo choo. Fuck the other characters. She should go. But no, seriously, go watch it. This is the first scene we watch in this anime. How the fuck do you not keep watching this after that? Akiba Maid War was definitely a surprise to me. I'm still not sure if it's the most original thing, but I do respect their setting for comedy. I say that because basically it's just throwing you the many tropes from mafia, gangster, underworld movies into a setting that makes zero sense for that to even exist. But I do think it's a good idea. I lost my shit in the illegal fight betting episode because the main plot device is a rare anime figurine. Listen, no one in their damn normie mind would get the joke. Only deadass weebs like you and me who have to sell their kidneys in order to get that one out-of-print figure of their favorite waifu would understand. But we do know how goddamn expensive these things are, and extrapolating its value as some kind of outlandish rare artifact made me lose my fucking mind. It's rare enough for someone to run an illegal fighting rig and then use the money to amass to get it, even resorting to straight murder. But you see what I mean? It's taking these normal weebish daily things and just applying it as an analogy for a mafia show. And I think that's why the main character works so well. Like, expectedly, she's supposed to be the straight man of the comedy, the normal human, if you will, who had no idea the maid world could be this hellhole. And the thing is, whenever the carnage and backstab happens, instead of doing like a Tsukomi, she's just too freaking traumatized by the shooting and indiscriminate murder going on to even do it. And in the beginning, you have like these full episodes where it feels like the entire plot is made useless because Ranko just shoots the problem in the face. And sure, I've been tuning this show's comedy horn for a little bit, and that's the direction I thought it was gonna take. Until it wasn't. I don't even want to spoiler review this. I want you guys to watch it. You have just enough time to get attached to every character until, well, the mafia movie tropes continue, except it's the shit hitting the fans section. Episode 6, man, that's the turning point. I never thought I would cry watching this. You don't understand. Oh, and you thought the panda was just a gag character, didn't you? That's not even close to the worst of it. This anime wins the seasonal award of most times I said holy shit in sequence while watching something. Love the ending. Even though it has a positive message, it messed me up. Couldn't stop thinking about it for like the whole night. Say whatever the hell you want, but it genuinely reminded me of how I felt whenever I'd watch shit like The Goodfellas with my dad back in the day. Sleeper hit! On the topic of cute anime girls, it's bias time. It's not about the surefire success that is the genre of cute girls doing cute things. This time, I swear. Even though you could say I only watched this because the premise felt like it was just K-On! Come backstage. And you'd be partially right, but I want to talk specifically about musical anime. Animes that center their plots around a band, or anything that actually involves musical production. Or hell, animes that choose to make said band a central point in their plot even for just one episode. They really hold a special place in my heart. And also, in my opinion, they do require a little bit of extra special effort. Aside, you know, from making all the animation, the voiceover, you know, the stuff you need to make an anime. Because, well, now on top of all of that, you have to produce songs. And then you have to get people to perform. Sometimes the original VAs, you just can't do that. But also trying to make it as if the lyrics and the songs actually help with telling the story of the character, instead of just writing something that would be trendy. That is the main reason why Angel Beats is such a work of art to me. That, and especially since it introduced a young 20-year-old Ktsu to Lisa's musical career that I listen to this day. I really hold deep respect for every anime of this genre that I ever watched. And in that regard, Bocchi certainly wasn't any different. Hold on, these names seem kind of familiar. You know, I think what they have with Bocchi as a character is perfect. Also, the fact that she's the one that has to write all the lyrics for the songs is a genius move by the writers. Because sure, we get a little bit of how she feels from her little inner monologues, but I think the songs and what she writes in them are what really tell you her story. How she sees her family, her newfound friends, her future. But sure, the songs are great and all, but I guess the real challenge that comes from making this type of show is how to fill up the other 15 minutes of the episode that don't have a song in it. And just like with Mob, even though I can't relate much to Bocchi, her reactions are so overshot and exaggerated. It didn't just give me a good time, but actually reminded me of why I love the medium itself so much. You don't really get this type of shit anywhere else, man. So even in times where I thought I'd be rolling my eyes, it didn't happen because it got insanely funny. Like there's this one time she just explodes and everyone fucking dies. That actually happens. And then they throw in the Joe reference. Perfect. Speaking of that, the references in this are so much fun. Every episode kept me guessing what anime they'd reference next. Couple all of that with the fact that, if my social media feed is anything to go by, she resonated with so many people on a personal level that in my head it just makes the anime all the better. But there's one really special scene I want to talk about. One that resonated deeply with me. It brought me back to the time when I used to have gigs, albeit they were a little different. Episode 12 is a masterpiece. Her dreams of grandeur before the show, to where her mind goes right before they go live. The feeling backstage when you look at your mates and you see them on edge. The heat of the spotlight. How sometimes it feels that you're so focused in the performance you forget to breathe. That is so real. When something goes horribly wrong, yet somehow, some fucking how, like a goddamn miracle, you pull something out of your ass and it works. People liked it, and you know what? 90% of that audience didn't even know what the hell was happening. They probably didn't notice you were struggling at all. To them, it was just part of the show. But in your head, the apocalypse was happening. Your life was indeed going to end right then and there if said miracle didn't happen. I swear to all of you watching this, man, this shit happens. I was so enthralled, I was probably glued to my screen watching this. As if it was me, it filled me with incredible nostalgia of the deep sense of dread you get once you finish. It's like time freezes and everything goes through your mind. Are people going to like this? Are they going to clap? Which is followed by an indescribable feeling of tranquility that you get once people start cheering. And then the ending theme starts. Hold on. What is that? I know this song. Oh my fucking jeebies, they did it. They covered Ajikan. I didn't even pay attention at what was going on in the ending. I was too busy dealing with the emotional blow that was listening to that cover song. Korogaro is such a nostalgic song to me. It brings me back to one of the best times in my life. Gave me the chills, man. But since I'm going off on this, and honestly covering AKG is a huge deal to me, as you guys might have found out, I have no idea what the hell is wrong with my attention span. Because I only noticed this like a month later when I was choosing the episodes I was going to use for this video. And then I saw episode 7, yeah, to your house. Kind of seems like a little AKG pun right there. You know, to your house, to your town, Kimi no machi made. And hold the phone. Yep, they check out every single episode. It's either an AKG pun on a song or just the song name itself. Except for the titular episode 8, Bochi the Rock. Listen, if there's a work of passion this season, it's this damn anime. Not only the love for the medium itself and all the anime references that we talked about, but the love for Japanese music itself, which hit me even harder that they chose to cherish a band like Asian Kung Fu Generation that's so close to my heart. Not to mention all the other bands they reference in the anime. I got even more emotional when I found out that they chose to go full circle not only with the episode names, but with what made Bochi Bochi. Now that I knew one of those popular rock songs that she chose to cover when she was just beginning her career. Man. What a powerful song. Everyone go on YouTube right now and look for Rock and Roll Morning Light Falls on You by Asian Kung Fu Generation. Do it! What it is, guys, thank you so much for watching the video up to this point. Not only that, but I want to thank again each and every one of you here, especially the ones that are subscribed. Thank you so much for all the support ever since I put out my first Digimon video. All the positivity, all the love you guys gave me, and it means everything to me and this channel. I've never had so much fun as when I work on this. And I really want to stay committed to doing this for as long as I can. But I got some last minute awards I want to give out about the fall season. Before that, if you liked the video, please like it and make sure you subscribe because it's the most important thing to keep the channel going. But with that out of the way, let's go. The extremely fair and non-biased seasonal ending awards. Best Girl, Makima. Really not even a contest. Best Boy, Twilight, or Lloyd Forger. I mean, who else did you expect? The Blast from the Past That Made Me Feel Old award goes to Urusei Yatsura Remake. The you guys are getting it award goes to Berserk Golden Age Memorial. The anime with the most guy locker room talk comedy award goes to Golden Kamui Season 4. It'll always get this award. This anime's good though, I love it. The anime that made me shit my pants award goes to Pop Team Epic. I will not elaborate further. Also, Aya Hirano voices Popko. I will watch anything she is in until the day I die. The movie that I was promised would air in Brazil, but didn't. Psych award goes to that time I got reincarnated as a slime, Scarlet Bond. Best Doggo, Pochita. Best Sociopath Gathering Hub, Blue Lock. Best, I swear guys, you really need to watch this until the last episode. That's when it gets really good. You gotta trust me. anime award goes to Mobile Suit Gundam The Witch from Mercury. And besides the holy shit award, best anime that really made me want to go to Japan really freaking bad, Akiba Maid War. Hirono Aya is in that too. She's a panda. Spoilers, I guess. Best opening, Yoasobi's Shufuku from Mobile Suit Gundam The Witch from Mercury. Best ending, all the 12 different endings from Chainsaw Man. That was freaking awesome. And now, guys, to close it all off, the obvious, but I have to say it, anime of the season, Book of the Rock. Thank you again. I love all of you. That's it for now. Ktsu out. See y'all.